Daddy's here, Daddy's here. I was so excited, I used to call him Daddy. And then all of a sudden, one of his children stopped me and told me, Samuel, stop calling him Dad, because he's not your dad. Your dad is dead. And I went back crying to my mother, and I asked my mother, Mommy, why did God take away my father? Why did my father abandon us? I was just a child. My father was 25 years old when he passed away. He was a pastor. And I was only 6 months, so I didn't have a chance to meet him. And for a Dominican family or any other third world country, a father means provision and means protection. We were destined to struggle just because of the absence of my father and the presence of something I call a monster, poverty. And for many people, poverty means different things. For many people, poverty could mean not owning a house, or just making the minimum wage, or not owning a BMW. But for my mother and I, poverty meant that we were not sure if we were going to have a breakfast in the morning, lunch or dinner. Because of poverty, I had to go on the streets at the age of 5. And I became a provider of my house. I used to sell cornbread on the street with a bucket in my hand yelling, cornbread, cornbread, who would like to buy a piece of cornbread? There were many times that we didn't have things to eat, not even cornbread. Or maybe many times I remember my mother used to give me cornbread in the morning for breakfast. I wasn't happy about that. And then guess what she gave me for lunch?
Cornbread.
And guess what she gave me for dinner?
Cornbread.
Corn soup, sir. And as a child, I was mad because I didn't understand. But there were situations that we didn't even have cornbread. Like this time, I remember we didn't have anything to eat. And my mother and I were praying for God to provide something for us. And all of a sudden, a sweet lady from church showed up with 10 green plantains, bananas, and 2 eggs. And I was so excited. I was like, wow, God is real. God really provides. And then all of a sudden, my mother started dividing the plantains. This two is for Sister Luz, this two for Sister Mary. And I'm like, Mom, what are you doing? You're giving away God's blessing. This is our blessing. And then my mother told me, Samuel, it is better to give than to receive. You know what? God always provides. The problem is that we don't share. That is a problem. And I was fighting because sometimes I had to go to school with broken shoes, broken uniforms, with no school supplies. And many times I had to decide to either go to school or go to work. And I was getting mad at people around me. People on the streets used to make fun of me. You're just a cornbread seller. You're just a loser. The kids you say you're good for nothing. You're going nowhere. And I had dreams. I wanted to become a recording engineer and a musician, but poverty told me that I was not good enough. That monster of poverty was fighting against me, and it was winning the battle. And I started blaming my family, and then the worst thing, I started blaming God. God, it's your fault because you took my father away. But then as I was growing up and learning, God was teaching me that the worst tragedy in life was not my father's death. The worst tragedy in life is living without a purpose. The worst tragedy in life is living without dreams, without hope. The worst tragedy in life is living without God. And I understood that God was never late, but that God is never early either. But you know why He's not late or early? Because if He was late, that means He left us. And He has never left us. He never left me or my mother. He was there, always there. In an event like this, maybe, there was an opportunity presented Compassion International, and a lady named Terry, she heard about this ministry that sponsored children and released them from poverty around the world. Compassion International is a ministry that works only through local churches, Christian churches, in those 27 different countries. And she was given that opportunity to demonstrate God's love. They usually say, if you park yourself in a garage, it doesn't mean you're a car, right? No. Well, if we come to church, it doesn't mean we're Christians. People are tired of hearing about God's love. They want to see the manifestation and experience the manifestation of God's love. They want to see proof of God's love, that we really can show them that God is what we say He is. But Terry did that. She wanted to manifest God's love, and she did by sponsoring me. She wrote letters to me. She told me, Samuel, you may not have a biological father alive, but you have an eternal Father now. Your dreams, you could accomplish them in Jesus' name. She wrote letters to me, and I wrote letters back to her, thanking her. Why are you writing to me? Why did you decide to invest in my life? $38 on me, why? You could just spend that money on something else. But she didn't even know me. She was from Canada and I'm from DR. Why did she decide to invest in me? I don't know. I know that God used her to bless my life. And because of her sponsorship, I didn't have to go to school with empty stomach or no school supply. I had school supplies, I have meals, I have clothing, and I have people telling me about Jesus. And today I can tell you that I am a recording engineer and I am a musician, and I praise God for that.
Yeah.
I was able to record my own album. This is actually my second album. And I was sponsored two kids, my wife and I, one in DR and one in Haiti. And last year we went back to the Dominican Republic because we wanted to give back. I got tired of coming to church and just raising my hands and worshiping and not doing anything for God. And we went back last year to DR. We did an event. We brought our live band. We did a concert. 100 people came to Christ. We gave away 300 backpacks with school supplies. And we gave food and meals for 700 kids over there. And we're doing the same thing this July. Because I got tired and because I understood that being blessed is not enough. I have to be blessed. And I still go back to DR in Haiti and I find kids trying to look for food in dumpsters. I see the teenagers, little girls, 9-year-old girls in Haiti prostituting themselves to get clean water. And I'm here in the U.S. with abundance of food and clothing and everything. And I want to close with this story. I went back to the Dominican Republic once, and I went to a friend of ours came to our house. She was a single mother, 23-year-old single mother. She has 3 kids, and she forgot her backpack in her house. And God spoke to my heart to put $20 in her backpack. But I didn't understand God was talking to me. Because God talks through the word, but God talks through music. God talks through cornbread seller. I mean, God even talked through donkeys. Yeah. But I didn't understand He was talking to me. So I was debating, should I put the money in there? I don't know. Like people here should be debating to it. Should I sponsor a child today? Let me just think about it. Like me, usually I say, let me just think about it when I'm sure. Or the excuse that I use is like, let me just pray about it. Have you used that before? Yeah, I use it all the time. But when God shows me a need, it's not time for me to think about it or pray about it. It's time to act about it. Because God wants to use me. But I didn't understand that. So she came the next day to our house. And she told us, Samuel, yesterday I had a need. I needed to complete the rent. And somebody gave the money to me. And I felt so sad. So sad. Because God wanted to use me and He had to use somebody else. I want to tell you today that God wants to use you, not somebody else. And today you may have the opportunity to sponsor the next Samuel Orlando, the next recording engineer. You may be sponsoring the next doctor, the next president of Haiti. Who knows? And the next architect. You have the power. But it's not, you don't do it because you feel sorry about it. You do it because of condition, because you love God. Because sponsoring a child is an act of worship. So today I want to tell you this. I want to give you that opportunity to sponsor a child through Compassion International. It needs more than money. It has nothing to do with just the money. You need 3 things to sponsor a child. The first thing you need is love. Then you need passion. And then you need compassion. Can you say these 3 words with me? Love, passion. You say it loud?
Love, passion, compassion.
God bless you. Thank you very much.
Samuel is such a powerful example of where our prayers and our finances can help to change someone's life. And the question I have for you tonight is, how many Samuel Orlandos can we raise up? How many can we raise up tonight? My wife Angie and I sponsor 5 kids through Compassion International. And our daughters have personal relationships with those kids where they write back and forth with them. They pray for them. And they are part of our lives. So I'm going to invite the volunteers to come on down now with the packets. And I just want to remind you, as he said, it's $38 a month. It's $1.25 a day. We all know how much coffee costs. We can change these children's lives. And we have been out there before. We've gone to El Salvador. My wife's gone to India. She's taken my girls to Peru on trips. And so we've seen how effective compassion is. And we believe in it personally so much that if you sponsor a child tonight and pay for the first month, we will give you our latest CD, Hope of the Broken World. And so if you want to sponsor a child, would you just raise your hand? As you raise your hand, I see hands. There's hands all the way over there. It's great.